Behind the drywall of your home, and buried deep beneath the streets you drive on, there is an invisible nervous system keeping the modern world alive. It's an endless, pulsing network of braided copper wire. Right now, we are plugging in millions of electric vehicles, erecting wind turbines, and building vast solar arrays. Every home and industry is shifting its entire energy weight onto these wires. But there is a massive bottleneck. This chart shows projected global copper production versus demand. The steep curve heading up is the massive amount of copper we need by 2026 to hit our clean energy targets. The flat bottom line is what we can actually dig out. Existing mines are running dry. Because operations cannot scale fast enough, that growing red gap between supply and demand triggers severe price spikes. The raw material suddenly commands a massive premium. When a heavy metal spikes in value, the math for criminals changes. In certain parts of the world, a pound of scavenged copper now yields a higher profit margin than stolen gold. By pushing for a green energy revolution, we have unintentionally turned our own unguarded power grids and railway lines into exposed, highly lucrative stockpiles of wealth. The surge in market value has transformed the nature of the crime. Scavenging has given way to specialized, industrial-scale extraction syndicates. These syndicates spend weeks scouting out their targets. They map out the blind spots around rural power stations and identify isolated substations that lack regular security patrols. When they strike, they move under the cover of total darkness. They bypass perimeter fences, cut primary power lines to disable electronic alarms, and go to work with heavy-duty hydraulic cutters. Working in coordinated crews, they strip miles of active, high-voltage utility lines in a matter of hours. They load tons of raw metal into waiting cargo trucks long before the sun comes up. These are no longer random acts of vandalism. They are coordinated campaigns that strip away entire sections of the grid before a response team can even be dispatched. To evade local police, those trucks immediately head for international borders. The stolen infrastructure is smuggled out of the region before utility companies even realize their lines are dead. The raw wire is then dumped into illegal smelting operations. The high heat burns away the plastic casing and melts down the metal, entirely erasing any serial numbers or utility identification marks. This flowchart illustrates exactly how the laundering process works. The stolen grid wire enters the black market smelter, and it emerges as completely untraceable ingots. These ingots are paired with forged customs manifests, allowing the metal to re-enter the global market and be sold right back to legitimate clean energy manufacturers. This closed loop creates a massive financial drain. Developing nations are spending critical portions of their national budgets simply replacing the same infrastructure over and over again, stalling their economic growth. Infrastructure defenders are fighting back by deploying seismic sensors to detect digging near buried cables and launching AI-driven thermal drones to spot unauthorized extraction crews operating in the dark. But even with advanced surveillance, national utilities are locked in a reactive, losing battle against a highly incentivized global black market. When the global supply chain fractures, the local consequences hit immediately. A single severed power line in an urban center turns the lights off for entire neighborhoods. During these sudden syndicate-induced blackouts, traffic lights go dark, train systems shut down, and emergency services lose their lifelines. Hospitals are forced to rely on finite backup generators to keep ventilators and surgical wards running. If a city's maintenance budget is entirely consumed by replacing stolen wires, there is no capital left to upgrade the grid. The capacity expansion required to handle our electric future simply halts. This creates a serious dilemma for the architects designing the next generation of smart cities. To ensure their foundational wiring survives, they may have to build heavily fortified subterranean infrastructure vaults just to protect the cables. The immense pressure to transition away from fossil fuels creates an insatiable demand for raw materials. The faster we try to build a clean energy grid, the more we incentivize the physical destruction of the power systems required to sustain it. Copper built the modern world, but as it is quietly stripped away, we have to ask whether our civilization is prepared to function when the elemental backbone of the electrical age disappears.